Before we dive into today's episode, I have something truly special to share. Next September, I'll be leading an intimate women's retreat through the south of France and northern Italy, and you're invited. Picture this: mornings exploring the colorful markets of the French Riviera, afternoons sipping wine, and a hotel view with golden Mediterranean sunsets. Whether you love photography, food, or just want to reconnect with your playful creative self, this trip is designed for you. Spots are limited, so if all this sounds like your kind of adventure, please visit tourwithabsolutely.com and look for the tour France and Italy with Crystal. You can also send me a message or check out the show notes. Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. Today on the show, I interviewed Cara Van der Bauwede. Cara is originally from the United States, but's called France home for 8 years now. We talk about how a near-death experience changed her life forever and how she's now an author, artist, and yoga instructor. We also talk about the connection between creativity and spirituality. So welcome to the show, Cara. How are you today?
Thanks, Crystal. I'm great. There's blue skies outside. I can't complain.
We are so ready for spring. The weather keeps playing with our emotions and going back and forth, but maybe eventually we're going to get some sunny, stay warm weather. And I want to go back to the beginning of what brought you to France. You're American, but you've been here for 8 years now with your husband, your French husband, and your 2 little guys. Tell us more.
Okay, so my husband is French and he was an American exchange student. So this sounds weird, but he was actually my soccer coach when I was young. And I thought he was the cutest guy in the world, but he did not think the same of me because I was a 12-year-old with braces. But we stayed in touch somehow through soccer and Facebook. And fast forward 15 years, and I was living in Colorado. He was living in France. We were both visiting the same town in North Carolina that we're from. And we instantly fell in love and had a long distance relationship for a while. And then I just eventually moved to France with him, and I'm still here. So that's the quick version of the story.
Oh my goodness. And there's so many people that move here for love. You hear about people meeting French people in France, in the States. So I love that that worked out for you and you're able to come be here full time with your little family. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. I can't wait to hear your story too.
Oh, thanks. Well, I want to go back even further because I know a couple of our guests have had near-death experiences and it's changed their lives forever and their creativity, their artistry. And I know at 16 you had a near-death experience. Would you tell us more about that?
Okay, so when I was 16, I was in a freak accident during a soccer game where I had an intense blow to the head, a severe concussion that instantly stopped my heart. And I was knocked out of my body for 7 minutes. I was defibrillated back to life. And it was an incredible, incredible experience that totally, totally changed my life. So that's a really short kind of how it happened. Basically, the blow to my head, yeah, it caused my whole heart to stop, and I was up and out of my body. And out of my body, I saw the world from obviously a complete different experience. Inside my body, I was very angry. I was 16. I was mad at my parents who were divorcing. I was in the final match of this soccer game that was so important. And then out of my body, everything just dissolved to love. I looked down on everyone and I saw oh, just the most beautiful, beautiful scenario of the world and how everything is just love and light. And my parents, who I was so angry at in my body, I just watched them with complete, utter love. And yeah, it's a lot. I'm actually writing a book about it. It's something that is really I carry it with me like every day, although it was so long ago. I still remember it. Like sometimes even better than conversations I just had. You know, every day I feel like really lucky to be here on this planet, and I see people differently than before, or maybe than most do, because I can see that we each have this beautiful, incredible, luminous light around us, and that even the very worst situations are just so gorgeous. So yeah, my art is all about that. Like I have this really clear message. Well, sorry, it's not clear. It comes and goes. But I have this big message that I want to share, that I want to leave behind. As soon as I became a mom, I was just like, okay, I have to get this out to the world, because death is such a scary thing to so many people, and it's complex. Like this is a big, big topic. Um, I think we all wonder like what happens after death, and we all are uncomfortable talking about death sometimes, including myself. And I just love talking to people about death. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, Crystal, because I think as we talk more about death, we realize like, it's just I think we're scared of dying, but death itself is just like this portal to, in my experience, our essence, our true self. Like we're out of our body, we're in just complete love. So my mission since then, since 16, has been really to help people access that part of themselves. So I think that I was taught that we have a soul, like I always thought like we have a soul in our body. But what I saw in my near death experience is that we are this soul, we are this energy, and we have this body and we have this brain. And another piece of my near death experience was that this is like a very long, long thing and maybe another conversation, but something that's kind of very taboo about this that I've had a hard time expressing is that I wanted to die like before this happened, and then it manifested in this complete way that like was out of my control. Also this experience like taught me so much about the power of our thoughts, and um, yeah, it kind of took me on this road after to learn all about neurology and psychology and our body and our mind. And then at 22, I fell in love with yoga because yoga helped me. Number one, it healed my body because I had like brain damage and some major issues after my near death experience to my body. But also when I began to teach it, it was just so beautiful because I could help others access their soul, like that part of themselves that will never die, that is timeless, and that is their essence. And I believe our reason for being here is to just know that part of ourselves that is always there, the part of ourselves as a baby, the part of ourselves right now, the part of ourselves that will be the who we were like in death. For me, that is just we just return to that.
Yeah, I mean that's such a beautiful way of putting it, and the fact that you can help people access that through yoga, through your creativity. Talk a little bit about that because I know you've mentioned in your writing about like how yoga is kind of a way like without dying to access our soul, to access like a path to that. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yoga is basically for me. I've taught yoga for 14 years, so I can kind of go off on like a really deep woo woo way, but for me it's an alignment of energy. So in our bodies we have the chakra system, and like physically we can kind of like lift up for this. And so in my near death experience I saw basically that everyone kind of looks like a flame, like we have this flame around us. For example, if you looked at a flame, and like the wick of it is our bodies, and then we're this light. And I like to think of it as like yoga kind of like aligns us to this light so that we can tap into our own um, inner luminosity or luminous.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, sometimes I get French and English mixed up these days. But so we can kind of like tap into our essence. And yeah, so yoga is an alignment to that. So normally in an hour, I can get people there, and I've been addicted to that feeling for a long time. But I've also kind of chased this path of all kinds of methods that like help people just to relax, be in the present moment, and connect with their spirit. And it's really this body, mind, spirit alignment. So that comes through yoga and meditation. And also, like you, I'm an artist. So I love drawing, I love painting, I love writing about, things we can't see and our imagination and our energy and how divine that is.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's
does
all
that make
all
sense?
connected, and I talk a little bit about how creativity is connected to our spirit.
Yeah. So my belief is that for me personally, my days right now are like 100% mom mode. It's so nice to have, I have one day a week where my daughter goes to the daycare. So it's so nice to talk to you on this Monday before I go pick her up. I love talking about this. Spirituality. So I think in the moment, most of us kind of like trek through our life, like thinking about the future or thinking about the past or thinking about how to fit into society, or our brain is composed of so many, billions and billions and billions of messages. But for me, the access of creativity is like getting out of our heads and getting into our spirit and getting into that energy that we are. And I believe that we all have like, I don't think some of us are just creative. I think we all have this like message that is unique, or this way of seeing the world that's unique, or this, this lens. We all have a special lens. And I think we all have a special message for the world that's so important. And like tapping into creativity is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful things we can do for the planet and for our hearts and for being here. So um,
I love what you said about us all being creative, because I think so many people believe that they're not creative, or that they don't want to paint or draw or whatever. But what you just said, I mean, it's so important to realize that that is like part of our soul, that is part of our being, is to create something, make something new out of nothing, and connect through it.
yes, I completely agree.
And what's something you wish more people knew about yoga, about spirituality?
I wish that people knew that it's like you don't even have to go to yoga class. Like you don't have to go to a yoga studio. When I lived in the United States, there I lived in a community, this amazing community in Colorado that was really spiritual, and pretty much everyone did yoga, or everyone in my circle did yoga. And then when I moved to France, the city that I live in, like an hour from you, Crystal, like when I moved here, no one did yoga, and that was shocking for me. Like there wasn't a yoga studio, there wasn't a group of people that practiced yoga. So I had to. I was introduced to a whole new group of people, and I learned that people are already kind of doing yoga in their own ways, like in the way that they live their life. And it's super easy to access. Like, again, you don't have to go to a studio. You can watch a video on YouTube, um, and just it is simply connecting your breath to movements and alignment. So you can go as deep as you want with yoga, but it's easy, it's simple. Anyone can do it. Any body type can do it. Any age can practice yoga. Yoga, every time you practice it, your body remembers and you're better the next time. If you have 5 minutes to practice, that's amazing. If you have an hour to practice, that's amazing. It's like you can do it for free. I mean, you can rent a book at the library and learn about yoga. And I for me, I think it is like this mind body spirit connection. It makes you better at anything you do. Like it's not just like a sport if someone chooses yoga. I think yoga helps you in whatever you do in life.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have like this misconception about yoga that it's like a bunch of skinny giraffe ladies on the mat and everybody's perfect and and I had clients that have told me like it's changed their life. They had health issues that they had to start doing yoga and they're like everybody's so nice in the yoga world because you're all like, doing these good things for your body and your mind and they're like no one's judging. Everyone's just there to help you.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's so true and that's so beautiful. And I think it's good for everyone. Like as everyone tunes into their inner world and like, takes care of their bodies a little more. Like and by that I mean no, I'm not perfect. Like I've eat so many chips these days with two young kids and French fries are my weakness. I think that's also a misconception with yoga is that you have to have, you have to be like all these other things to practice yoga. And just like you said, Crystal, like be skinny and whatever, no, not at all. I think anyone can practice who wishes to reconnect, I think, with themselves and to live more presently. Yoga is just an amazing
Yeah,
way
I
to do
couldn't
that.
agree more. I've never heard anyone do yoga and be like, that was terrible for me. Talk about some
Exactly.
of the best resources that have helped you on your creative journey, on your healing journey, other than yoga. What are some of the things that help you to create, help you to heal?
To relax, whether that means take a bath or sometimes it can mean having a drink or watching a show for yourself. It doesn't have to be like perfectly spiritual, but meditation is amazing. I believe really it's important to listen to positive music, to surround yourself with positive people as much as you can. Um, and to, like to create a positive atmosphere for yourself. Like I love essential oils. I love trying to make my house a nice atmosphere to live in, uh, connect to nature. There are so many beautiful like tools that I think we can incorporate in our daily life. Affirmations. Uh, yeah, there's all these different ways I think we can tune into our highest self, which leads us to a more creative life.
Yeah. And part of the healing, it's all one big circle. And you recently wrote a book called Mama
Exactly.
Goddess Glow. Talk about your first book.
Thank you. It's so nice to talk about this. It's the first time I've also talked about this on air. So thank you, Crystal. I wrote this book during my pregnancy because I was in France. In my first pregnancy, I was half in the U.S., half in France. My second pregnancy, which was 2 years ago, my daughter is almost two now, was completely in France, and it was hard for me. I think Americans. This is a total generalization, but in general, like my doctor in the U.S., my sage-femme, my midwife, she was really warm and really nurturing, and asked me so many questions about myself. And I don't have I have my husband's family here, but I don't have my own family here. Just to be clear, like pregnancy, it was such a sensitive period for me, and I really felt like not nourished. So I decided one day, I was like, you know what? I have a really good toolkit and I'm going to turn this pregnancy around and I'm going to use all these tools that I have and create meditations and create affirmations and just tune into this pregnancy and make it the best that I can. So I began doing these practices and I began writing and really just so into the energy. My full time job when my daughter was at school became writing this book for pregnant women for myself, and then I was like, you know what, I want to share this with the world. So when my daughter was born, I turned it into a book and I published it myself, mostly just to share and to open that for other women. So it's full of yoga postures, it's full of affirmation. So it's really designed to help the mama connect with her glow. Now you know my near death experience and how I see everyone with this light around them. And in French, I was really in love with the word for pregnancy, which is enceinte. Instantly, I like to remember the word. I thought of in saint, And then I was thinking, oh my gosh, pregnant women are like saints. We're carrying around this spirit, and we are luminous, and we have this energy, and I think we go through so many hard times. Like our body changes so fast. We feel like fat. We feel lazy. We feel, all these crazy things. So I just wanted to transform all that energy into this book, which is Mama Goddess Glow. So it's there to help now any mamas who feel low or feel down or just want to tune into their highest experience and like encompass this goddessness, which I believe is pregnancy. So yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I know so many women need this book because, like you said, it can be tough being pregnant. It's a lot going on, a lot of hormones, and using these practices make it a little easier, a little more beautiful than just feeling tired and uncomfortable the whole time.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. It is a beautiful experience. And I had so many friends like that had a really that would kind of like wish their pregnancy away or they didn't feel well. And I definitely had moments of that. And I was like, okay, I think we can transform the way that we view this. And I think that yeah, and I think it's a good thing to do for the world, not only for the baby, because when mama feels good, baby feels good. It's a beautiful time to like connect with your baby. It's a good time to rest. In the book, it's a really simple method. It's to glow, and the method is slow, flow, let go, and know. So it's basically like slow down, flow with what's going on, flow with the changes, flow with the seasons, and let go of comparison, let go of worry, let go of fear, let go of anything heavy, and know who you are. And it's full of just so much love, so much affirmations. I wanted it to feel like it was something like your best friend was writing to you. Um, yeah, it was as I was writing this book, I was having so much stress and so much worry that would just naturally come up in the day. And then honestly, there was this beautiful like channeling of this divine voice that's like, everything's okay. And that kind of created the book was this beautiful other otherworldly kind of messages that were coming through. So
I love it. I can't wait to read it. And how would you define creativity in your own words?
in my own words, I would say creativity is our essence. I mean, I think it's who we are. I think creativity is our life force energy in motion. I think it's kind of the antidote of this society which can feel really robotic at this moment. Um, I feel like I really embraced my creativity when I moved to France. I don't know if you, I would love to know if you felt like that too, Crystal. But I think Paris specifically has this like energy of, we have a hard winter. Like where I live, like the winter is really intense. It's gray, and then the spring comes and it's amazing. And like for me, creativity is an outlet. It's like a way to make beauty out of all the chaos, the highs and the lows, and the in betweens. And I think everyone, obviously everyone in their whole life, they have highs and lows and good parts and bad parts. And life is a circle of life and death. And creativity, I think, keeps it all balanced because it is, through creativity, we see that it is also beautiful. The dark parts are really, I think, where the most beautiful parts of art are formed through the shadows and through the of course through the light too.
Yeah.
So I feel like creativity is
Yeah, we
life.
can't have the light without the dark, right? That's
Yeah.
so beautiful. I love how you put that. And I couldn't agree more about the energy in Paris. I say that all the time. It's like some kind of special energy here that makes it feel like you just want to create, you want to do something artistic because maybe all those people that came before us. And talk a little bit about where people can connect with you online and buy your book and learn more about your work.
My website is caravonderbauwede.com. I am really slow checking that right now, but I'm speeding up with my daughter just starting the creche. But there's lots of new things coming. I have a new book this summer. I'm going back to North Carolina, which I'm really excited about, to kind of come out of yoga teaching retirement. I haven't taught in a while, and I'm going to teach all June at this gorgeous place. It's actually the highest point on the East Coast at Beach Mountain Ski Resort on top of the mountain. And I'm going to have a retreat there in June. So yeah, all that's getting ready to be shared through my website and through my Instagram.
Well, congratulations. I can't wait to see the next book and all these retreats. And it was such a pleasure talking to you, Cara. We'll share all of that in the show notes so you guys can click and connect and buy her book. And thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much, Crystal. It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.